Are there 8 planets in our solar system? We don't actually know, but we don't actually like have the exact number, but we can. Some people say that 8, 9, and some people maybe even say 10. One thing is certain, and it's a fact. We are not going ever to number 9. One of the many things and issues is the planet Pluto. In order to settle that dispute, the International Astronomical Union made in 2006 an argument for and against Pluto's planethood. Some astronomers advocated widening the number of planets to 12, including Pluto. Imagine that 12. Its moon Charon, the asteroid Ceres, and the newly discovered Eris. In the end, they changed the definition of what makes a planet, and sadly, Pluto doesn't make the cut. So, Pluto doesn't actually qualify as a planet. Here are the new requirements. The new requirements of planethood status are: first, a planet has to orbit the sun. Okay, fine. Pluto does that. Two, a planet needs enough gravity to pull itself into a sphere. Okay, spherical. Pluto's fine there too. And three, a planet needs to have cleared out its orbit of other objects. Pluto hasn't done that. For example, planet Earth accounts for 1,000,000 times the rest of the material in its orbit, while Pluto is just a fraction of the icy objects in its realm. The final decision on that reunion in 2006 was to demote Pluto from planet to dwarf planet. But don't despair, Pluto is in good company. There's Ceres, and which is a dwarf star or dwarf planet. Eris is the most massive. Eris, which is another dwarf planet, is the most massive known dwarf planet, and the one that helped turn out definition of a planet upside down. It's 27% more massive than Pluto and the 9th most massive body that orbits the sun. It even has a moon, Dismoni. And of course, there's Pluto, the founding member of the dwarf family. For the surface of Ceres is made of ice and rock, and it might even have a liquid ocean under its surface. NASA's Dawn mission is flying there right now to give us close pictures for the first time. The planets we know are, or the ones considered planets, are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Almia, Makemake, or Makemake, whatever, and Eris. But those last ones, Pluto, Haumea, Makemake, and Eris, are actually dwarf planets. They have been cut out from as real planets. And then there's Ceres, which we can count as 13 planets. But if you actually count dwarf planets as planets, then there will be considered planets. You got it? But the actual planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Pluto having been cut out as a planet since 2006, I think. One of the many doubts we have is that one, Pluto. We have, because now I've clarified it. Now we know, because of the research, that Pluto has been named is not considered a planet, and it is now known as a dwarf star. As I explained why, because it doesn't apply the reasons that that association I mentioned before said. I'll make a pause over here. So, again, from a long pause or whatever. Um, we were kind of discussing, but which I already mentioned before, but Pluto is not considered a planet. If you didn't know that, well, shock it. Mm, in conclusion, there are actually 8 planets, but if you consider dwarf planets as actual planets, then there are more than 8. But I think in my opinion, dwarf planets are not considered planets, so there are 8 planets and no more.